Hello and welcome, friends and fellow digital hoarders. This is Digital Hoarders episode 42, Spider-Man.
What just happened? Oh my God.
Bring it in a notch, dude. Damn.
I wanted to be excited.
You fucking are.
It's Spider-Man. I'm excited.
It's Spider-Man. Oh, Spider-Man came out?
Spider-Man came out.
We should talk about it.
What? Is this a Spider-Man game?
A little bit.
Who is that? Bye.
We're just going to skip the whole thing.
Yeah. Bye, Anonymous. I obviously mean visit us live every Friday-ish at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. Or you can find us on Twitter at Digital Hoarders with 3, where you can talk to us about... it's too much. I told you I was going to fuck it all up.
It didn't take long either.
I told you I was going to.
It's a great first impression.
I thought so. I came at it with a lot of energy, and everybody went,
You scared us. You just
Scared us, man. You scared us.
I made you jump?
A little bit.
Yeah, like a horror movie?
Ah, you should listen to
Hashtag DadPod.
Oh.
Hello, my name is Alden, and I'm a digital hoarder.
Hello, my name is Brandon, and I'm a digital hoarder. We're gonna go over
Hello, my name is Dan, and I'm a digital hoarder.
Hello, my name is Evan, and I am a new digital hoarder, which I'm very excited about.
Are you new to hoarding digital video games?
I think so. I need to get more into the hoarding aspect of games, but I'm starting the trend of hoarding a bunch of Spider-Man merch, which is working out really well for me so far, but yes.
So, Evan, how do you say your last name? Is it Filarca?
Yes, it is. Thank you for not messing up.
Not a flub that one.
Yes.
Beautiful statue. Gorgeous.
Yeah, I was upset. They didn't show the statue in any of the preview stuff because they didn't want to spoil anything. There's going to be villains in the movie.
Yes.
And the game.
So I didn't pre-order the statue because I was like, I don't know, because I have so much Spider-Man merch already.
And now you're like,
right.
Evan, who are you? Why are you here? What do you do? What is your Twitter coolness?
My Twitter coolness is my real name, at Evan Filarca, and I am the head founder and leader of a group called the Spidey Squad. You may have heard of us. We're a very excited fan base that just loves everything about Spider-Man, whether it's the game, comics, movies, TV shows, anything like that. But mainly, if you look at some backpacks in Spider-Man PS4, you may find a certain community logo of the Spidey Squad in the backpack, where Yuri Lowenthal himself as Spider-Man will talk about his one and only fan club being the Spidey Squad. And I've just been a YouTuber for over 2 years now because of Insomniac and Marvel and PlayStation announcing Spider-Man PS4 back in 2016. And that is what inspired me to become a YouTuber, is because of their awesomeness with making the game and inspiring me to follow my dreams to become a content creator. And because of that, they recognize the passion that all the fans have for the game and the character. And then they were awesome enough to blow my mind and actually incorporate our group in the game. And our logo was made by Spidey Bugles, the co-founder of the Spidey Squad, one of the co-founders. And he made that beautiful logo. And you can find it in Spider-Man PS4 in one of the backpacks. And it's mind-blowing.
So when did you start this whole Spidey Squad thing? Because it definitely blew up.
It really did. I was never expecting it to be as big as it is now, and even be in the game, which is crazy. But yeah, I was in San Jose State University, and I've loved telling this story too, because it's like, dreams do come true if you work hard enough. And I was first planning on becoming a political science major in San Jose State University, and I had this whole plan figured out where I would help tutor people in college, and also focus on my major and stuff like that, and maybe even get a bachelor's degree. And then, lo and behold, Insomniac reveals Spider-Man. I love Spider-Man. I'm such a fan of the games and everything like that. And then it just inspired me to pursue that kind of pipe dream that I always had. Like, what if I became a YouTuber? And I just started with my phone, just recording videos with my iPhone. And then I just started to make videos about the game. And then later on, I noticed that other people were excited about the game like I was. And then we started to talk to each other. And then, like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if we just, like, collaborated in a big video or something, because we all love the game so much, and we just met over YouTube and Twitter. But then, like, why not collab? Why don't we make a group about Spider-Man, not just the game, but for Spider-Man? And then like, I was funny because at first we were thought of calling it the Spidey Society, and then, like, that sounds a bit cheesy. Like, maybe the Spidey, Spidey 7 or whatever, because there were only 7 of us back then. Like, oh, why not? But then, like, no, why not just Spidey Squad? It's an alliteration. I love alliterations, and so does Stan Lee. I'm like, why not? That'd be cool, Spidey Squad. And then like,
I'm glad
and
you
then it
didn't roll
just
with.
blew up. And
I'm
then
glad
more
you didn't roll
people
with
started
7.
joining.
Yeah.
There's like 10,000 of you now. That would be
Yeah.
the Spidey
Now,
10,000.
Spidey
Spidey
20K about, because we have the main members and then the community members, which is huge, and almost I think over 8.5 thousand followers on Twitter,
It's
which
nuts.
is crazy. And then just everyone is so amazing in the community, loving Spider-Man, loving the game, being so passionate about the character, and then that's what inspired me mainly to continue being a YouTuber. And then here we are 2 years later. The game's out now. It's outselling God of War in the UK, which is crazy, and it's like freaking an amazing experience. And it's my personal favorite Spider-Man game and just game of all time, and I just love every second of it. And the community is what has driven me to continue becoming a better YouTuber and a better Spider-Man fan, because they allow me to appreciate Spider-Man more on a personal level than I could ever have imagined. It's amazing.
Yeah, that definitely is one of those like what's in a name kind of stories, because I do feel like if you had been like it's the Spidey Society, it wouldn't have gone on, because it's not as catchy as Spidey Squad.
Yeah, exactly.
Spider Cop in Spider Squad.
The Spider Cop is talking about the Spidey Society.
Spidey Squad definitely caught on because we were lucky enough at our PlayStation fall sales conference this year that Bill Roseman was our guest speaker. And so he's up there.
I freaked out when you tweet about this too, by the way.
He's up there, doing his thing and telling an amazing story. And then he's like, there's even this group on Twitter called the Spidey Squad, and they're the most passionate. They retweet everything we do. And these are why we do these things for these kind of people. And so when he was done speaking, he was just kind of walking around and mingling, and I had a chance to talk to him and took a picture with him and everything. And I said, it's funny you mentioned the Spidey Squad. Like, Evan's a good dude. I talked to him at E3 this year. And he's like, oh, yeah, Evan's the best, man. Those guys are so passionate. So I'm like, that's pretty crazy that this thing that was the pipe dream for you has reached somebody that these guys took notice to it and then obviously put it in the game. And I remember when I found that backpack in the game, I was very close to tweeting it out. So I jumped on Twitter first, and I just wanted to look, and I'm like, oh, there's 9,000 of them. I'm not the first one to find this, so I'll just not. But
your passion definitely. We've never spoken to each other, and 20 minutes after talking to you, I'm more excited about Spider-Man, and I was already excited about Spider-Man. Your passion definitely draws people in and amplifies that. When did you?
Thank you so much.
When did you find yourself drawn to Spider-Man?
Kind of like a lot of people, I think, where they were exposed first from the comics with this shirt, which I got to show with this amazing fantasy cover of the Spider-Man white spider suit with an inner demon. But mainly what I started and that like exploded my fandom for the characters, the Raimi movies, the Sam Raimi movies, and the Tobey Maguire movies, and Spider-Man 1 is my favorite Spider-Man movie because of the nostalgia factor that I have for it, and just that's the first Spider-Man movie I've ever saw, and that's like one of my favorite versions of them is the performance that Tobey gave, and then that allowed me to pursue that even further, like through comics, and then these amazing games, which my dad is a huge factor of because he's the one who basically showed me that there are video games of Spider-Man when I was a kid, and mainly starting off with the Neversoft Spider-Man game in 2000, Brian Intar's favorite Spider-Man game, which is one of my favorites too. Where it like Venom, and then this Doc Ock and Monster Ock with Carnage and everything, and then Ultimate Spider-Man 2 with that great looking city, and then the incredible voice acting and these great stories that always, as a kid you're always like fascinated by the world of superheroes because like, oh, maybe I can be like the superhero that I always look up to, and then people like Batman or Superman, and then Spider-Man is just such a cool, relatable character for me personally because, like, I totally relate to Peter Parker in so many ways, and so do tons of other people. Like, I am sometimes struggling with school. I am struggling sometimes with relationships. And, yeah, I'm poor sometimes. And it's just such a cool way to even experience that through movies, games, TV shows, and comics, and you get that whole, relatability on such a more personal level than you could ever think of. And that's why I was so blown away when they announced this game in 2016. Like, we're finally getting a AAA Spider-Man game, not only being made just from the heart, but also from Insomniac, one of my favorite developers that actually care about this character, and the other games that they made, Ratchet and Clank, Resistance, and then when of course the incredible team with Ted Price and Brian Intar and of course Bill Roseman, everyone behind it's just so in love with Spider-Man. That's what mainly pursued me. Like, they actually are going to do this character justice in the way that can show him in a new way for people, and also keep that same modernization, that same relatability and vulnerability and, you know, continuous love that everyone knows and who Spider-Man is, and put that in a next-gen game. And that's like how people can experience Spider-Man in a way that they never have before. And that's why I love the character so much, mainly in games, because you never really get that feeling from a movie. Like, you're seeing this in such a cool way. Like, wow, look at those cool visuals in Homecoming, where he's fighting Vulture and, you know, Shocker. That's awesome looking. Look at the comics. Oh, that looks so cool in a comic book. Looks amazing in the artwork. In a TV show, oh, this is a cartoon, but like Spectacular Spider-Man, they have such great moments in that show.
Yeah.
But in the game, you're playing it. You're playing the game. You feel like you are this awesome character that we all look up to and love. And that's why I was so in touch with the games as a kid, because my dad would always show me a new game. We would always play it together. And then we always have fun with it. Like, I can't beat this level, Dad. And then he would help me with the level and beat it for me. But then when this game came out, like, oh, this is going to be so amazing. And then it is. And that's why I love Spider-Man now even more, because of the passion that Insomniac have shown for this character and for this game. It's incredible.
So you like Spider-Man?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, thank
To
you.
recap.
It's all right. Yeah.
So
TLDR, Evan really likes Spider-Man.
yeah, two
pretty
quick
much.
things that whole thing made me think of. One, I'm never going to talk about Spider-Man again. I'm just going to show people that video because you did it better than I've ever done it in my life.
Oh,
Alden's always been the Spider-Man guy that he's always so giddy.
Yeah.
And you just look like shit now.
Yeah, I'm just going to take my shirt off and that's it.
right.
No more Spider-Man.
Spider-Man 2.0.
And two, the Sam Raimi movies were your first introduction to Spider-Man. How old were you when that first movie came out? I'm starting to feel real old.
I know. No, I was pretty normal age. I'm 20 now. I was born in 1998.
Yeah, I'm
so
super old.
That's
You can't say normal age.
No, that hurts.
Normal age? What are
Normal
we?
age. I know, no, not like that. I
Senior
mean,
citizens.
like
I'm normal age. You guys are fucking old as dirt.
I'll be right back. I gotta get my insurer.
That's fine. I'm gonna go write my will.
no, I'm sorry. I didn't
All
mean
your
to
Spider-Man stuff.
kind of like
No.
in the
Does
community,
Evan
like
get it?
It's going with me. My
no, I
Spider-Man
didn't mean
pyramid.
that. I'm sorry. I meant like in the community where like there's a lot of like people who are in their early teens or even
I
late
know, but-
teens.
You're not.
Oh, big.
I
You're
mean,
making it worse.
I mean, in the community, like we're really.
You guys are starting to get older. Compared to the community, you're really
There's
fucked.
actually way more people that make you feel older.
I'm sorry. No, I mean like the main Spidey Squad members that are like they're like, oh wow, I've been exposed to the Ring movies too. But no, I saw the first one when I was 4 years old and I was born in 1998. So yeah, I'm
Evan,
20 now. So
Spider-Man doesn't
Yeah.
make people feel bad.
Evan does.
no.
Yeah.
I know, I'm sorry.
20-year-old Evan does.
I think I was like,
Dreams of the sentence. No, I
I
didn't.
think I was like 18 when that movie came out.
All right, so
Really?
I have a son that's 20 years old.
Is it
Thank
Evan?
you,
It's
and
Evan.
good night. It might be.
Is Evan your son? Aw.
All of us-
Listen, there might be a couple more Rodriguez's out there somewhere. I don't know.
Evan Rodriguez.
I'm pretty sure
That
that's
has
not.
an R.
Farrah was a made-up last name.
Ugh.
Just hit a bunch of buttons on a keyboard, and I was like, "That's my last name, Rodriguez."
See which one sticks.
So, is Tobey Maguire your favorite live-action Spider-Man?
Yes, I love Tom. Andrew did a good job, but I think Toby for me is my favorite. Again, like there's always that comparison, like Toby's the best Peter, Andrew's the best Spider-Man, and Tom's the best of both. I really like Tom, but for me, I just like from when I grew up, like I can totally see this is me, like with Toby as Peter Parker. But sometimes he is a bit dry as Spider-Man. I see that, but I don't know. Just for me, something about Toby's performance just sticks with me a lot.
Andrew is my favorite. I love Andrew Garfield. I think
Andrew's your favorite. Wow.
Amazing Spider-Man got too much shit. Like I thought those were good movies. I think they got a lot
They're
of
really good.
completely unnecessary shit. Like
I
I'm
like
kind
the
of super bummed
second
that
one. First one I like more though. Than
I'm bummed that we never got to see the third one because they had
yeah.
Shailene Woodley cast as Gwen Stacy. Like they had
Mary Jane.
Mary Jane.
or Mary Jane, excuse me. They had a whole nother storyline coming up that I was all for. I think Andrew Garfield is underappreciated actor. I think he's fantastic. I think he's my favorite. Like I like Tom Holland, but it's hard to compare Tom Holland because while they're all, high school kids, Tom Holland's the only one that looks like a high school kid. So he just feels like a different Spider-Man to me, if that makes any sense. I think Andrew Garfield just played it the best. I think if you were to take the three Spider-Men and make a movie out of like Marvel's Spider-Man. Like Andrew would be playing this version of Peter Parker, I think. The kind of aged one, because I guess he's supposed to be a high school student in Amazing Spider-Man, right?
Yes.
I haven't seen it in a long
Yeah,
time. That was a bit of
like 30-year-old high schooler.
So was
Right.
Toby,
He like
who looked
just
35.
graduated high school at the end of the second one. Like,
Yeah.
you sure you didn't get held back? He looked way older than everyone else.
And then the scene from Spider-Man. What's the
train?
The train scene, is that two?
Two. Yeah.
That scene popped up on Twitter again, and I'm like, man, that is a different world we live in, because I love how the whole train's like, we won't tell. Oh,
Yes.
bullshit.
Yeah.
All of you are going to tell who I am. My secret's out.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
what about you, Alden? Who's your favorite on screen?
A million times Tom Holland.
Okay.
I love that teen Spider-Man. I like.
Yeah, he's great. Yeah.
And the movie too is way better to me. Ultimate Spider-Man is my favorite Spider-Man universe. I liked the teenage angst they had to go through, which is funny because I'll talk about
Evans just stopped.
Yeah,
being a
Evan
teenager
just
recently.
turned not teenager. I'll talk about another teenage angst thing later. I started playing Life is Strange. Oof. But
Oh boy.
Sorry.
oh
Stay
boy.
tuned, Dan.
Stay
geez.
tuned. But they brought a lot of the good stuff from the Ultimate Spider-Man into the movies. Tom Holland, Peter Parker's friend, is straight up a ripoff of Miles Morales' best friend in the Ultimate Spider-Man comic books. It's literally the same character with a different name.
Right.
Yeah, but
Ned
him,
is Gank from Miles's. Yeah, it's like, I don't know why they did that, but yeah.
Well, because it works so well. Like,
I love that kid.
their rapport
That kid
is so
is so
fantastic.
Oh, he's
Right.
fantastic.
Brian Michael Bendis is the best comic book writer as far as Spider-Man goes to me because of the dialogue that he's able to write. He writes really believable dialogue. And well, he did until he went over to DC to the dark side. Now he's writing Superman. Get out of here.
What a piece of shit.
Henry Cavill doesn't want to play you anymore. So
Yeah.
get out of here.
I don't even know who
Is
that
that what
is.
the S stands for?
Yeah.
Yeah. But they took so many good moments from that Ultimate series and made it its own kind of thing. It does kind of take away of the possibilities of using Miles in a future movie, but whatever.
Right.
But I know you're amped for the animated one.
I'm so amped for the
Into the
animated.
Spider-Verse
Oh,
looks
yeah, that was good.
great.
Miles Morales is my favorite Spider-Man,
Right.
which is kind of sacrilegious because I grew up on Peter Parker and grew to love this character because of Peter Parker. I feel like they saw what they could have done in a modern age with a new Spider-Man, and they did that using Miles Morales. They were able to make him more of an outsider and have a more fucked up life, basically, but also have a lot of the same sense of humor and all that kind of stuff. But because of everything that he's gone through, he's able to have more of a dark side to him that he's always afraid of getting out. And I love that about the character because it adds another wrinkle to it. Anyway, Tom Holland. Dan, who's your favorite Spider-Man?
Hey guys,
in the movie?
Dan's on the show.
Hey!
Hey! Dan's a digital hoarder.
I'm more of a I'm a digital hoarder. Thanks.
And he loves Liam.
Yeah, and fuck you, Bendis. All right, so I'm a Nick Hammond kind of guy, like the guy from 77, 78,
That doesn't
79,
count.
80s.
70s.
Yeah, when you
That was more my deal.
when you were
Dan was
Evan's age.
I was alive.
He was 27 when that happened. So.
I was 4 years old, I think. Jeez, you know what? Out of the three movies, I would say probably Tom Holland. I liked them all except for Spider-Man 3. I didn't really care for that movie, but other than that, you know what? They were all really good.
You don't buy Topher
And
Grace.
also, it
as
was
a
an
bad
80s
guy.
Oh god, that was bad.
What was the?
That's
How did
70s show
Topher
guy.
Grace get cast in that? Like, they're like, we need somebody dark and brooding. What about that kid from that 70s show?
Yeah,
And we'll get
Perfect.
Thomas Hayden Church, who's a brilliant actor,
yeah.
but was just a weird role in was he Sandman?
Sandman,
it
it
was a
didn't
weird
work.
role. He's a great actor, but
Yeah.
so sorry.
Go ahead, Dan.
And then
you're
the dance scene.
That's it. I've watched them, once a piece. Basically, I really didn't care for. It's a Homecoming. I've seen a few times. I watched it with the kids, but he does a very, very good job.
Oh, he's great.
That young kid-
Yeah. Tom Holland is like the perfect encapsulation, like the Ultimate Spider-Man,
Yeah.
and the Spectacular Spider-Man from the show, and his own unique vibe and personality to it is awesome. How he does that.
Spider-Man 1, when it came out, meant a lot to me because I grew up just obsessed with Spider-Man. Spider-Man from when I was 4 years old.
When that came out.
No, I was not. I was
24.
4 reading the comic books. I used to go to work with my dad sometimes, and then I would go to school from there. And before we would go to work, we stopped at 7-Eleven every morning. And once a month, back then, 7-Eleven had comic books, and I would get the new Uncanny X-Men. Or no, it was the Jim Lee X-Men. So it was the regular X-Men series and Amazing Spider-Man. So I grew up on Spider-Man, just drawn to that character because he was somebody more like me who has these worries and fears as a normal person. And then he's like, shit, I got to go fight crime now. And he goes to fight crime, and he like loses all of himself in that. And then he comes back to his life, and he's like, oh, I forgot about rent. Not that at 4 I had to worry about rent. Thanks, Mom and Dad. But
you're the best.
But yeah, growing up with those and then finally having it realized in a movie was amazing to me, no pun intended. And
was it spectacular?
It was spectacular, pun intended. It was ultimate.
What other
ultimate.
Was it extraordinary?
Sensational, yeah.
Well, sounds like Charlotte's Web. Sounds like Charlotte's Web.
Yeah.
What?
Did they still have the Web of Spider-Man? Wasn't that?
No, they don't still have that.
I said Charlotte's Web. No. Sounds like the scene in Charlotte's Web where they're just bringing them fucking adjectives and she's writing them up in the corner.
Yeah.
Stupendous Spider-Man.
Wow.
But so to see that realized in a movie was spectacular to me. But as time went on, I kind of lost the love for it. And then the second one came out because I watched the first one probably 15 times in the first year. And then the second one came out, and that was a really good movie, but still, I never was a fan of what's his name? Who's Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man. I just thought he was a little off. There was no of that humor wasn't there. But even as a Peter Parker, he didn't seem nerdy to me. And I don't mean to shit on your favorite one, Evan.
That's exactly what he means to do.
He was
before what he saw.
Totally his intention.
Yeah.
It's like, let's see how
Did you not see Alden's face the entire time you called about Tobey Maguire?
He was very whiny as a Peter Parker too. But I was so happy to see these dreams realized on the big screen that I kind of overlooked it until the third one, and I was like, I don't know what I just watched. But then Andrew Garfield was really good, but he did come across as older. They should have just made him
I agree.
college-age Spider-Man.
That's what I'm saying. The Spider-Man that's in the Spider-Man PS4 game, he could play that role perfectly.
Yeah.
8 years into being Spidey, he knows what he's doing. But because what Amazing Spider-Man did was build a love story, which I don't go to comic book movies and expect. Like, it made you, and I won't spoil anything, but it made you, like, Amazing Spider-Man 2 is one of the very few comic book movies to make me choke up, even though we all know what was coming. Good God, was that hard to watch because they built him and Emma Stone built that chemistry, and that's not what you think in comic book movies. You don't think about that kind of stuff because when Toby and Kirsten, I didn't give two shits about them, and their iconic upside down. Fuck that.
Sorry, Evan.
Yeah. Sorry. But I liked what Andrew and Emma had. I thought they were really good together.
So Gwen Stacy was like my first. Gwen Stacy was my first comic book fake crush.
Plus, you're in love with Emma Stone.
Plus, I'm in love with Emma Stone. But in the movie, the nerd in me kind of felt it was clear that they put together Gwen Stacy and Mary Jane and made it one character.
Okay.
So it didn't feel as perfect to me. But then again, in the new Spider-Man game, Mary Jane's not
she's awesome.
The same character anymore. She's a different character, but she's so good.
Yeah.
It's my favorite Mary Jane ever.
Yeah. Words.
Absolutely.
Dan would jump in at all.
Listen, I've not beaten the game yet.
I have words.
I've got lots of words. Bendis, Spider-Man.
Hey,
no. Mary Jane, I liked her character. I don't care for her, small spoiler, her scenes, where you play as her. Yeah. I didn't care for those too much. The same with Miles. I love the character. I mean, that's the game for me. It's about those characters so far. What the hell are you
Alden
looking
does
at?
not agree.
You said things about Miles that were bad.
Miles is a good character. I didn't care for his scenes, his action scenes.
I
where you actually
liked-
take control of them.
It was jarring a little bit to have the change in pace,
Yeah.
Right.
but I liked it after a couple minutes. You know what I mean? Like there were a couple minutes of ugh,
Right.
but a few minutes in, I started to really get into it and enjoy the kind of change in pace. So I get what you're saying, but at the same time, I enjoyed it. But I also just love Miles Morales so much that every time I got to be him, I was screaming and fist pumping.
I don't know who the voice actor who's playing Miles in that game.
I don't
is,
either.
but he's great. Like
His
the character's
name's
just
Naja Peter, I think his name is.
What has he done before? Has he done anything?
You know the new Spider-Man cartoon on Disney?
Yeah. Does he play Miles in that?
Yeah, he also voices Miles
Okay.
in that.
Awesome. Yeah, he's really good in the game. Like
He's way better in the game than he is in the show. In the show, he
Okay.
comes off as like this little annoying, like science, all-knowing, intelligent guy. He
Okay.
comes off as a bit like, okay, you're like a know-it-all, just stop. But in the game, he's like way more fleshed out and way more in depth than you would expect. And I love how Brian Intar and Bill Roseman describe it, where what would it be like to play as a character without superpowers in this crazy Marvel world where you're playing as Spider-Man and you even get to play as Peter during some little parts of the game, but then playing as MJ and, spoilers, I guess, Miles. And I love it. Like, it was originally the plan where they weren't even going to have Miles in the game at all. And then they thought later on, like, well, maybe we should add a character that Peter can kind of interact with in a different way, and also have a character that you can play as that doesn't have superpowers. And like, while MJ's cool, I love the scene Miles where there's, I won't say a certain other one, but the main one where the City Hall bomb goes off.
yeah.
Everyone's almost dying.
That's a spoiler, Evan.
Sorry, but like I think everyone's like has got.
It's really bad to do spoiler alerts on a live show. It's kind of
That's true. It's bad. Can't be taken back. I'll get so much flack. It's all right. But
but
the main scene
I was gonna try to bring it back for you.
is fantastic, and I understand why they say it would be cool to play as Peter during that scene, because he gets knocked out by the bomb and everything. But I love it where
Evan!
Miles is
Peter dies, and oh my god!
No, sorry, don't let that. Which I won't say if that does or doesn't happen.
Don't forget.
Stop talking, Evan.
Just like when Galactus comes.
turn his camera off.
I'm just making
And
shit
it's
up.
fine.
Remember when the Flash showed up? That was badass.
I
It's kinda weird
can't.
when Batman showed up. I
I was
don't
about to
understand
say
what
that.
Dude, that whole scene where the Justice League fights Spider-Man. Holy crap! No, I'm kidding. No, but no, just that one scene where I won't say anything. But
No.
Miles
Just say something nice.
in
It's
the
a great
game
scene
is-
with Miles. The first time you take control of him. There we go. Got you, Evan.
But I love it more is because, but the reason why is because you're not playing as someone with powers during this super intense sequence. And I get like some people say it got dark really fast.
Yeah.
What I love about it is that it's a world with serious stakes in it, and that you're playing as this character who is just a bystander who like, oh my god, what just happened? Because you know what's going on. Where we've seen the trailers, like Martin Lee is behind this, but then in the game you play as Miles and like, what the heck's going on? Who are these guys?
Yeah.
And you're walking around this crazy situation where you could die, where if you get spotted by the inner demons, you're going to get shot. And it's crazy. And I love that moment of seriousness and stakes and like, oh my God, I could actually die here if I mess up. And there's no way to swing away. You don't have any powers. You're just this kid trying to survive. This 15-year-old kid just trying to get out of there and find his dad, which is,
I definitely. I got him killed more than once, and I got MJ. I guess MJ gets shot when she gets spotted.
Yeah.
Because in that one, and this is, I won't go like all Evan on you guys, but one of the scenes, she's sneaking around in a place, and like you have to sneak with MJ the whole time you're sneaking. There's like these boxes, and they all lit up, and I'm like, I guess I should go to these boxes, and then I knock them all over, and I get shot. I'm like, I guess I shouldn't have went into those boxes.
like,
Yeah,
what
you
the
bump
hell was all that noise? Like,
Go into the boxes.
Bump into the boxes, and a guy comes with a gun and just rings it into her face. And my first reaction is, no!
That's a bit much. I just knocked over some boxes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'll pick them up. All right.
Yeah, I can
But yeah, they were
clean.
glowing, so I'm like, I guess I
Respect
should
the
go
boxes.
investigate.
Yeah.
Just walk right into
it was
it.
this crazy noise.
Yeah.
Boxes flopping all over the place.
All right, so normally at the start of the show we talk about, hey, what have you guys been playing?
I
don't think we need to do that right now.
The only other thing I played other than that was Madden.
No, okay. I played something else. I'll talk about that in a minute because this is more of a bummer.
You're gonna kill the hype.
So, what does everybody think about the game overall? We've kind of talked about the game, but we haven't given our opinion of it. I hate it.
It's not
garbage. Yeah. End of the Spidey Squad right here. You heard it here.
I've wasted 2 years of my life.
Alden, do one of those commercials for our show and just have that as like the tagline.
Yeah.
I've wasted 2 years of my life.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
This week on Digital Hoarders, we talk about Spider-Man. I've wasted 2 years of my life. A bomb goes off.
And then, spoiler.
After the heart.
Before we get into that, Evan, Sam wants you to know multiple times that he was right about Aunt May.
I don't want to know what he was right about. Let's leave it at that.
Spoil, Sam. Some of us haven't beaten the game.
Yeah, all right, Sam, stop talking. Stop. I don't know where that's going. Maybe he was like, hey, she's not hot like in Homecoming.
I know.
Maybe that's what he
I was
saying.
right that she wasn't Marissa Tomei levels of hot. Whoops.
Boy, that was a weird call where they're like, let's take Aunt May and make her hot.
Well, I mean, it makes sense
with Evan being Evan. He's the next
Evan. Are you finally going to announce your next movie role here?
He is.
I don't want. Am I in Far From Home? I don't know for sure.
He's taking over Marissa Tomei's role. He is Aunt May.
He's Aunt May.
Aunt Evan.
Okay, coming in Far From Home and Avengers 4.
Come on, let's get a little bit of your acting reel. Can you do one of your scenes as Aunt May?
Just don't spoil anything.
I don't even know a line from Homecoming that she really says. She's like,
"Oh, Peter."
Oh, Peter.
Oh, Peter.
And then Alden will play.
No, wait, where they're in that Asian restaurant, like, I LARP you. You know I LARP you too much.
Why do you sound like Donald Trump?
Really?
Donald. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what that voice. That's his voice, right?
You know I love you.
It
does. It sounds kind of like a.
Alden is gonna play the Tony Stark role and creepily hit on you the entire time.
Yeah.
So that's Alden's role. Yeah.
Yeah.
The chemistry will go together.
Sweet. I'll be the pudgy friend. I can't think of his name.
Ned. Oh, no.
He's great. He has that actor has another movie coming out called Bloodfest, which is a horror movie that Rooster Teeth did, and it looks amazing. So yeah, he looks
huge shit.
Yeah, it's a Rooster Teeth movie, but it looks really, really good.
Oh wow!
I like talking about horror movies. Did you know that, Alden?
Yeah, we should talk about it on a #AdPod, episode 29.
Yeah, we should record that before we record this. Oh wait, we did.
I'm gonna go listen to that on Monday.
We should.
Wow!
I wasted 2 years of my life.
So, Evan's been playing a ton of Spider-Man.
Did you platinum it?
Yep, hands down. Thanks to the review copy by Sony, I did everything. Platinumed it, got all the collectibles, Spidey Squad backpack. Oh my god! But yeah, I got everything in the game and beaten it. Hands
crazy.
Daniel,
for me.
Yes.
Have you beaten it?
I've not finished it yet. I really, really want to platinum this, but I'm pretty sure that those stupid ass challenges are gonna F me over somewhere.
You know what? If you keep struggling with them, if that's the last thing and it's pissing you off,
share play.
Just share play with Alden or I, and we'll knock it out for you real quick. Or
I know
Evan.
it's share play. I don't even know
See, look here. Let me teach you about share play, son. Share play,
the best feature that no one uses.
Exactly. Yes. Let me put my job hat on here.
Yeah.
Share play works basically where you can own a game
behind us.
Right.
We own the game, and you invite us to watch you play it. But you can give us the controller, and we can play the game for you from our house.
Okay.
Alden and I, what do we play? Far Cry 4.
That's the hacking feature that everyone knows about.
There was a Far Cry 4 challenge that I need. Well, I need to get to a certain level so that I could help Brandon get his trophy. Mm-hmm. And I was rusty on the game really bad, so he kind of took the controller over for a little bit and killed all my guys, and then I helped him get his platinum, and I got him a platinum.
And I love you. And that, like Evan said, it's the most underutilized option on the PS4. But yeah,
no one even knows that you can do that. It's like it's right there in the share options.
Yeah, it's you just hand over control to whoever you want, and you can just let us take it over for you because we want you to get that plat. Then we want that to be your plat.
I actually platinumed the game without knowing, because I got
nice.
all the things done, all the side activities, and then I just checked, like, wait a minute, platinum unlocked. Oh snap! And I just realized, I just do everything in the game, and then you get it. Like,
well, let me ask you this, Evan. If since you have platinum it already, do I have to get? Can you just get like the bronze on all those challenges?
All
you have to get the silver on at least one of each kind because there's a trophy side
right.
to it. Everything else you can get bronze.
I'm talking about tokens because you need a certain amount of tokens to unlock.
Oh,
yeah, you have to get all the suits, and in order to get all the suits, you got to do some of the challenges, and then you gotta get at least silver or gold in a lot of them. So it takes a while, but I did it like without even knowing. Like, I did it.
Get gold in some of them.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying. Shit.
Yeah,
we'll see. Get there and see how much you need.
Trouble to get gold. I do them tons of times to get gold in the drone races, but I got it.
All right, I'll be adding Evan tonight.
Hey!
we'll be doing
giant special hoarder party on Spider-Man.
Evan's PSN is I've wasted 2 years of my life.
You gotta change that, right? That's I don't know why that's not my Twitter name right now.
It really should.
Yeah.
That'd be a great way to. Hey, who's the leader of the Spidey Squad? Oh, it's I've wasted 2 years of my life. Oh, what a positive group.
Yeah.
Alden, you've beaten the main story.
I've beaten the main story and most of the side quests and a lot of the side content. I'm going through now each, I don't know what you'd call it, area, I guess. I want to say borough, but that's not the actual thing. District, that's right. And I'm doing each thing in each district. So I haven't finished all of the side quests because I'm just kind of going bottom to top and doing everything, including all of the beat 5 groups of thugs and beat 5 groups of whatever. Demons, yeah. So I'll have that platinum this weekend for sure.
Nice.
But it's, God, it's such a good game. So my hype level for this game was through the roof. The last game I was this hyped on was Horizon Zero Dawn, and that didn't disappoint. But
does this pass Horizon Zero Dawn on your?
I don't know.
Horizon Zero Dawn is your all-time favorite game.
I need more time.
Okay.
Horizon Zero Dawn is fantastic.
Yeah.
It's spectacular, amazing, and
other
words we said.
I've got to let this rest a little bit before I make a decision on that, before I can say this is my favorite game of all time. It's easily my favorite Spider-Man game of all time. It's also my favorite. I like it more than any Spider-Man movie, any Spider-Man show. It's just they do so well with just about every aspect of it. The only things that I had any kind of annoyance was with some of the side missions where you're doing like the researches, and I was like, this is kind of frustrating.
Fire escapes.
Suck
it.
Fire escape.
Wait, what about the fire escapes?
I hate those days. I'll be swinging. I'll be like, check me out, man. I'm so awesome.
You can do that.
All of a sudden, there's a fire escape. Boom.
Just go to the bottom. Go to the bottom of them, and he'll actually like walk up them with the web.
Yeah.
I just run into him.
Yeah, but if you run into the bottom of them, he'll like literally like spider. He'll walk up the side of them, and he just runs.
Like jump over each one. They'll do like
it's really cool looking, actually. Yeah,
they did so many cool like side animations that some people might never see.
No,
when you're web zipping and you happen to go through a water tower and you go underneath it and through it.
Web tunnel is so good.
Yeah,
one of the first skills I unlocked was the tricks in the air, and every time I jump off of something, I'm just corkscrewing and flipping, and it gives you XP. So it
adds such a cool little element to the web swinging where
double the hype.
Yeah, you just get to have a little bit more fun with it, and it turns it into Spider-Man's Tony Hawk's Pro Web Swinger. And they just did so many cool, so many cool little things in the game that made it special. Some of the animations and the voice. So while you're playing as Spider-Man, he'll have phone calls with people. And
saw that breakdown. It's brilliant.
I did. So
brilliant.
I noticed early on that, man, as soon as I started like swinging around, his voice got more like gruff and like struggling. And I thought they must have really like play tested the shit out of this and known right about when everybody starts swinging. No, they recorded every line as Spider-Man twice. Once as calm and relaxed, and once as struggling, fighting, and swinging through the air. That level of detail is insane.
It also goes to where there's 28 total suits to unlock, and do you think that they have to animate every single one? Because every cutscene, what I like is I have played plenty of games where you might change your character, but then when you go to the cutscene, it's still the generic character. not this.
Right.
It's whatever suit you're wearing, and I can't spoil it, but the one suit that I unlocked recently, it's so weird to see that in the real world like that. But it's cool because when I go to the super serious cutscenes, he's in that suit. And you're like, what? But it's just like Evan said, the level of passion and just detail in this game is just unheard of.
And
I mean, it's ridiculous.
I know
Never seen this from like any other game company, honestly.
Yeah,
like,
and
they put so much effort.
One of the things that's crazy about it is, of course, it's a known IP, but they'd never worked with Spider-Man before. And Insomniac is a huge studio, but I don't know. I listened to one of the spoiler casts after I beat the game.
Was it the one Evan just did?
No, Evan, what spoiler cast?
No, I'm talking about on our show.
Oh, this one, yeah. 10 minutes ago.
Exclusive mini spoiler cast.
I listened to one of the spoiler casts with the director of the game. I forget his name. What was it, Evan? Brian
Intihar.
Yes.
Or Fragile Eagle, as most people call him.
Okay. But he said that I spent 3 years of my life working on this game, and it's crazy that I put so much time into it. 3 years in game dev time is nothing for the start of an IP. That's crazy that they put this level of detail, polish, story, animation, and did it all in 3 years time. That includes like from the beginning to the end.
Yeah, and during that time, Dan, I know you'll want to jump in on this. During that time, let me tell you what didn't happen. Downgrades.
Right.
Fucking morons. The game is gorgeous. So shut the hell up, everybody who said that. This game is stupid gorgeous.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the things that I'm seeing in this game, I'm just like, how are they? The depth of field, just when you're running around and the sun is setting. I mean, this game is stunning. There's a scene that I just played where there's a super close up. I don't know if I can say his name because but it's one of the most detailed things. Like when they get real close, there's like pock marks in there. I mean, it's insanely detailed. Like the game is perfection.
At one point, I was playing, and Aunt May was talking to Peter, and my fiance Tanya was reading, and while I was playing, and she just looked up and she went, "I thought that was a real actress for a minute."
It's
like it was a live action cutscene.
Yeah,
because they just
so good.
And in 3 years they did that. We've been waiting 10 years for Kingdom Hearts 3.
We haven't.
Not we.
Still not out yet.
But like even the thing that newsflash, anybody who might not know, Twitter's full of a lot of angry, sad people. They have this Easter egg buried on the boats, which I'm sure you've seen, which I think is great. What I love is that there's so many people that are like, that's they lied. It's not an Easter egg. They just did it. Yes, that's it. They went to the detail to build the stitching into the seats of the boat, and then they just said, fuck the characters. Like, no, it's a legitimate Easter egg, and I think it's genius.
The people look real bad, and it's because the people in Spider-Man 2 on PS2 looked real bad, and people used to make fun of it, so they did it on purpose. And yeah, it's the same. So I don't know if you guys saw it. I posted a video of when my game glitched.
That was great.
I was on a wall.
Everybody saw it. Good God.
Everybody in the world saw it. Oh, really?
You're the only one ever.
It got more retweets than anything I've ever done, and all it was some little video that I posted.
How many followers did you get off of it?
I don't know, not many.
4.
But what was funny about it is
everybody follow Alden, A.Bear.
Now I'm at 6, so it's great.
Sweet. No, you have 7.
Yeah.
I just unfollowed you. So.
I was on a wall as a train was coming at me, and it was the first time that I realized trains can hit you. And I jumped as it was hitting me, and it like glitched out and shot me through the wall and under the world. And I started web swinging. There it is. So I started web swinging from under the buildings, and everything underneath is sky. If you're not watching on YouTube, go to YouTube and just check this out.
A.Bear.
Or follow at A.Bear.
Wow.
B-A-I-R, not
and it was kind of creepy to see. So
that's amazing.
I took a quick video and I posted it, and it
has 61.4 thousand views.
Yeah. It blew up, which
is very weird.
Sometimes I sit there and I think of a good, I try to word a joke perfectly and fucking.
If Broad tweeted that out, I'd have 137 million views.
If Broad tweeted some of my dumb jokes.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. But
Game over.
And just to speak to Twitter, initially a lot of the response was, "That's crazy! Whoa, that's so cool!" and jokes and all that stuff. But at some point, the tide turned and Twitter took over. Took over. That was a glitch. That was a glitch.
That the game was glitchy.
Yeah, but yes, everyone started. What is that?
It's a book, Hostile Takeover, maybe?
There it is. Yes, the prequel to the game. Sorry, I was trying to make it show up on the YouTube stream.
Right.
But it quickly turned into, out of nowhere, everybody going, "Well, this game is so glitchy. If it was on Xbox, you guys would be shitting all over it. And State of Decay 2 is so better." And just nobody was saying anything about.
We were literally all having fun with. We're acknowledging that was a glitch.
Yeah,
we're just saying that's a pretty cool glitch.
Yeah,
just like the weird shit I saw in State of Decay 2 was really funny to watch. Sometimes it was glitchy, but who cares?
Yeah,
everybody just.
Yeah, but it got so many comments that started with, "Oh, that's awesome, 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 awesome. Whoa, cool. It's weird. Oh, that's trippy.
Xbox for life.
Xbox is better. And what's wrong with you?
Sunset Overdrive is better.
Slurs
QTE Fest.
Yeah, and slurs used against me because I posted about the game. And it's just like it started getting shared by other
disgusting
groups
people.
Yeah, it was.
Look at this broken ass game. Media bias.
Yeah, it was weird. It was literally one of 2 glitches that I had the entire game.
I have had
in an open world game.
I've had no glitches. I've had like a couple of those things where like you're swinging and he kind of like skips for a second and goes. But I did see a glitch. That's the thing. We can acknowledge glitches and still have fun with it.
Yeah.
There was a glitch that somebody tweeted out where Spidey was like cannonballing into the water. Did you see that
saw that.
He hits the water and he just rolls along the water. It's brilliant. Yep. That glitch, that's not supposed to do that, but that's fucking hilarious. And I wish I could make that happen on my end because I want to do that. I tried it.
It was so funny. Dan, did you have any glitches the entire time?
0 glitches, no problems, just fire escapes. Thanks.
Dan is the glitch.
And Bob.
That is the glitch. Yeah, I am my own glitch. Oh, the game is. I don't know. Every game has glitches. What the hell is wrong with people?
Yeah.
I mean, who gives a shit?
Yeah, and it wasn't.
They're a glitch.
It didn't
precisely. Yes, their brain is glitching.
It didn't delete my save. It didn't cut through like scenes that I was in that were important. It was dumb little things that happened in open world, and sure, it was a glitch that I'm sure is going to get patched out. And I actually don't want it to get patched out.
Mad you tweeted that out 30 minutes. Well, no.
I want to read it.
All in, they're fixing the game now.
The patch will improve the glitch.
Yeah, I hope so. There's just like a demon down there waiting for you now.
And he's like, "You found me."
Wait for this.
But it's. I hate saying it, but we all know why it's getting attacked. It's that little word that starts with an E because it's exclusive. If this thing was multi-plat, we wouldn't hear this. This is just the gross world of Twitter. Everybody, stop it. If you don't like Spider-Man, cool. Enjoy Forza. It looks awesome. Have fun with it. Yay.
But here's the thing, and here's why I find it so easy to ignore all these people. It's getting picked on from a few people on Twitter. It's the biggest game of the year.
Oh, by far. It is my game of the year.
I have never seen so many people at
my most
once
favorite game of all time,
playing the same game.
No, yeah, I jump onto PSN and it's just fucking, and it's great because everybody just has the Spider-Man avatar now. So it's just
everyone has the Spider-Man profile picture. They have the game on. They have the theme in their background. It's like all red and white everywhere. And I love seeing it. Like it's the best thing.
What it did is something we talked about 2 weeks ago when I said I hope when Spider-Man comes out, it kind of rekindles my gaming fire because I've really not been in a gaming mood. It 100% did that because I am at an overall of 73% done the game. I've done literally every side collectible that can be done. I'm just getting into the main story now, and then I'll be done. It is the game now that while I'm at work, I'm thinking about it. Granted, the cool thing about it is I am just putting up Spider-Man marketing everywhere, so that kind of makes me have no choice but to think about Spider-Man. But
must be nice.
I do like Spider-Man. Not as much as Evan, but it 100% rekindled my my love for gaming. I just like I talked about. I was in this just lull where I just didn't want to play anything, and now all I want to play is Spider-Man. So I'm going to be sad when I platinum it.
And that's my thing. I wasn't in a lull. I was all about games.
You never in a lull.
I've been playing games like crazy and loving every minute of it. I finished Spider-Man. I feel empty. feel
That's
like
how I felt with God of War, man.
nothing like that's how I. So with God of War, that ended, and I still had that. All right, now I just got to wait for Spider-Man.
Now you don't
Yeah.
have.
Now what?
Nope.
Now we got
Nothing.
DLC coming, which
Yeah, and that's what I'm excited for.
quicker, though.
Concrete Genie, I'm excited for. Red Dead will be good. Days Gone will be
Cause.
good. Death Stranding eventually will be good.
In 2017,
Whatever it's about.
The next amazing
Halo 2 will be the
and that's it.
game of a generation.
Yeah, that's the next thing that I have where I feel like is going to be.
Oh yeah,
I need to immerse myself in this, and that's The Last of Us 2. That's
Days Gone's going to do that for me because I haven't shut up about Days Gone since they announced it, but nothing will touch The Last of Us 2 for me. But no, Spider-Man. So at this point now, keep in mind, as stated before, I have not yet beat God of War because it came during my lull.
Really?
But I don't think by the time I get to the end of God of War, it's going to beat Spider-Man. And I was talking to some people at work about this, and what I attribute that to is they're both fantastic games, but Spider-Man has the fun factor. God of War, I don't want to say it's not a fun game because that sounds fucked up to say, but you know what I mean. It's a journey. And Spider-Man is just fun. It's just fun. Where God of War gets so heavy, and you, to me, I had to be in that mood to play God of War. There is no mood for me to play Spider-Man. It's just let me play Spider-Man. So Spider-Man is my game of the year, in front of God of War and Far Cry 5 for me. So,
Evan, where do you put this as far as game of the year goes?
Honestly, yeah, like it's hands down my game of the year. We're just pure trash. No. Under Sea of Thieves.
Nothing will top Madden. The innovations in Madden this year.
There is some innovations that you're like, how does that happen? Yeah. Man. So you said it's your favorite game of all time now.
It is, honestly. I mean, again, like, I don't know. Like, I've had a lot of Spider-Man games that I've played in the past. Obviously, I played, almost all of them. And even there's other games that I love, like, Last of Us and God of War is such an incredible, amazing experience. But so much love and care was put in this game. You can see that every time you play it, every time you see parts of the story. The writing is some of the best writing I've ever experienced within any form of Spider-Man media, like you guys said earlier. Yeah. And I totally agree. Like, the story is in such a way that it perfectly encapsulates who Peter is, who Spider-Man is, and also showing them in new ways that we haven't really seen before, and introducing their characters and these other characters like MJ and Miles and Peter's mentor, which I won't spoil, but they show them in a great way. And I just love how everything in the game relates to the story, even if it's just for the gameplay. Even the side missions relate to the story. The backpacks relate to the story. The mini citizen interactions even relate to the story. Like, you just can go on the street and wave to people and high-five them and take selfies with them. The city's so vibrant and alive, like, even during different times of day, everything, so many things are going on, and all the side missions are so entertaining, and you never feel bored with it. You can always go back and jump in and swing and fight bad guys and just do that for everyone you want, and it never gets old. And it's just incredible, honestly. And I don't think it would have been my personal pick for Game of the Year or my personal favorite Spider-Man game of all time without the team at Insomniac or Marvel working on this, because they care about this character so much to such a high degree. And that's why I've always thought since day one, since that 90-second teaser trailer in 2016, where, he gives that whole line of dialogue, people see me and think they're safer, but it's not really me they're seeing, pressure, right? Like, that sold me the first second I saw it, and everything else ever since then has been icing on the cake for me. It's one of my favorite experiences has been my most anticipated game that I've ever been anticipated for, and just having it pay off. And of course, from my personal connection with being able to interview and meet all these people, Brian, and even Yuri Lowenthal himself, who loves the Spidey Squad, and all the actors playing these characters, and Bill Roseman, and Jacinda Chu, and Gavin Goulden, and Eric Monticelli, and Ryan Schneider. I can name everybody because I've been able to meet all of them, which is crazy, but I just love the people behind this amazing experience. And it, again, has, like you guys have said, has stoked the flame for me getting more into gaming, and has re-innovated and just, shown gaming in a different way for me that I never thought could be possible, and even have me appreciate Spider-Man more on a personal level through this story and through this game. And without that, I don't think I would be talking to you guys right now at all about this amazing game. I owe them all that, and it's just an amazing experience that I've been honored to play myself, and just it's mind-blowing for me.
Do you still have your newspaper from E3?
Two things. One, I have my newspaper from E3, which is totally buried under everything else, and I got my Game Informer signed by everybody from Insomniac Games.
Oh, wait a minute.
And Ted Price and Brian. You're here too, Brandon.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm on there somewhere.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
Somewhere on like
the
top,
only one that nobody cares about. It is
right here.
Hanging
but
off.
Yeah, I think you're somewhere here. But yeah, I have my newspaper from E3, and I also got it signed by James Stevenson, the community director at Insomniac Games, and John Bubniak, the character model for Peter Parker.
That's awesome.
Fantastic.
That's awesome, dude.
So Dan,
honestly, they've changed my life in more ways than I can even explain. But they're amazing people.
Yeah, it was
Dan?
all right. It was all right.
No force of them.
yeah, I mean, you got to follow that
2
somehow.
years
Yeah,
wasted. Right.
But Dan, what did you think?
As
far
as game of the year goes, where do you put
As
it?
far as game of the year goes, I got to finish it.
Yeah,
I
that's
really
true.
do.
That's
It's
true.
one of those things where
Right.
I'm
That is a
not
good point.
done. It's been super fun, and you figured it would sell a shit ton of copies just because of the massive appeal of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I mean, that's God of War. I don't think has that kind of following, obviously, but it's still an amazing game. Right now, I would say it's top 3 for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. I played, God of War was amazing, but that was like you said. I mean, it's an experience as opposed to something else. This game, like you said, Brandon, it's so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's just you get those rare games where it's like, man, this is just a blast. I don't even give a shit what's happening. I'm just swinging around doing whatever. This is so much fun, and and between those two, I mean, I know maybe not everybody's played Octopath Traveler, but I love that game. It's so good.
Damn.
So good.
What, Evan?
What the fuck was that, Evan?
Evan, did you just step on a dog or something?
God damn it.
I just love. I thought you were going like, man, I can't beat Octopath Traveler because, phew, that game is game of the year material.
Tough. It's tough. It's really I really have been enjoying it. Thank you. Anyway, yeah, I mean those are my top 3 right now. So those, I mean, but Spider-Man, it's slowly crawling up the ladder to
Crawling up the
Not
web.
the fire escapes, though.
Yes. Maybe he would have been my favorite game of the year, but he's stuck under that fire escape.
He's stuck there and he's swinging through
Marvel's Fire Escape PS4.
That's the DLC. It's nothing but fire escape traversal.
Yeah, as far as game of the year goes for me, God of War was such an amazing experience, and I said on this show when I finished that, it's going to be as much as I'm excited for Spider-Man, it's going to be hard for Spider-Man to top it. Spider-Man tops it. God of War is an amazing experience. It's not one that I'm going to come back to all the time. I've said before that Horizon Zero Dawn is a game that I could play forever. I could come back to that game in 15 years, and I will come back to the game in 15 years. Spider-Man's a game I could come back once a month for the next 30 years and just swing around. Just like I had a rough day, I don't feel like playing anything. Let me just swing around the city for half an hour and hang out and just kind of get out of this funk.
In 30 years,
I'll be dead.
Evan will almost be as old as Dan. I love you, Dan.
Reach that level.
I love you, Dan.
But it's an amazing experience. They put so much love and care into it and treated that character with such a reverence, but also, so it's kind of the way the Batman Telltale game was able to take characters that existed in that world and still make them new and fresh. Spider-Man made all of these characters new and fresh. Peter Parker is the best version of Peter Parker. Mary Jane's the best version of Mary Jane. Miles is fantastic. The side characters are great too.
Man.
May is great. They take Mr. Negative and turned him from who's, whatever, Mr. Negative, to an actual threat and a creepy dude and a guy that you are worried about when you meet and you try to fight. They did so well. J. Jonah Jameson, instead of
love what they did with him in that game.
Instead of just a podcaster. I love the way that cuts in. So I did a thing last night because I'm just cleaning up the city to get the last of my trophies. Brian Altano of IGN posted or tweeted that the best way to experience Spider-Man is to turn the music all the way down and pull up Spotify and play Wu-Tang Clan. I like Wu-Tang Clan a lot, but last night I did it. I turned down the music and I put on Nas because Nas is my favorite New York-based rapper. And it really was kind of a whole new experience as he's rapping about New York and you're swinging around it. And then every now and then the music fades out and in comes J. Jonah Jameson screaming like a right-wing pundit about how awful Spider-Man is. And it's just comedic every time he has somebody on there and he's screaming and they're like, yeah, it was so bad. And J. Jonah's like, yeah, it was really awful. And they're like, thank God Spider-Man was there to save me. And he's like, cut it off. And it
sounded just like him.
Thanks. J. Jonah Jameson mixed in with Kermit the Frog. It's a
Evan's Aunt May voice.
I just love the way. I love you, Perry. I love Perry the best.
His Aunt May is drunk all the time.
But the game is unbelievable. Hats off to everyone involved, and hashtag Spidey Squad. It was so good, and I'm so excited that I got to play it. But I'm so depressed and empty. Now I have to play games like Life is Strange.
Just about to say you've done that, and now how miserable are you?
So you do that. I mean, you want to go from here to here, then you want to go down here.
Where? Down where,
right
Dan?
Down here. Right down
here. Fire escapes are?
Yep, fire escapes.
Crawling down that fire escape.
We're gonna run right into it.
Alden ate a steak and now he's chewing on a piece of shit. Apparently, he's not like it.
My fiance Tanya and I played Life is Strange, the first one, and it was fine. There was a lot that was wrong with it. The story itself was enough to keep us interested and get really annoyed at the angsty teenage whatever.
Dan,
and
you love that part of it, right?
Yeah, that's the best part. Fuck that game. Yep.
But it's better.
I'm gonna apologize.
It's better than
Oxen free.
There you go.
So
suck it.
So we go right down that fire extinguisher.
That's one.
The first one had enough redeeming qualities that I was able to play through the bad ones. But the one character I hated the most in Life is Strange was Chloe.
Chole.
Chole. I was a miss. Chole.
Chole Fastbanger.
Chole Fastbanger.
What a bitch.
I'll never forget when you said Michael Fassbanger.
Chole Grace Moritz, or how did he say her name when he was on?
Chole Grace Moritz.
Chole. I wrote it down wrong, Evan.
Yeah,
I wrote it down. I read it just like I spelled it.
Michael Fastbanger.
Yeah.
And Life is Fire Escape.
Battle of the Houses.
Yeah, Battle of the Houses. So, good God,
Doc, see what happens when you're not on the show?
Michael Fassbanger.
Probably not even in the audience anymore.
So, Chole was my least favorite character in Life is Strange.
In life, period.
I love, obviously, Ashley Birch, who plays her voice actress. Plays her voice
Aloy too, right?
Because she's Aloy, yeah. And she's fantastic as Aloy.
But she's not in Before the Storm, right?
And she's not in Before the Storm, but she did help write it because she wanted to add some Chole sensibilities.
But she is in the bonus episode.
Yeah.
Which is super fucking weird.
It's really weird.
Yeah.
The Captain Spirit one?
No.
So there's like 2 SKUs for Before the Storm, and one of them just comes with a bonus episode. And in that bonus episode, they have the original voice actresses, but in the whole other game, they're not. They're different actors. It's very odd.
Yeah, in the whole other game, it's Chole before Max. So Max was a great main character in the first one. even though she was very like, it's art is so important to me, and and you're just like, all right, stop being so pretentious.
I don't care.
But Choli was the worst. Just very like, yeah, well, I don't want to do that.
Right?
What are you gonna do? Kiss me? Are you gonna kiss me? Like, all right, a little heavy-handed there, Choli. But a lot of the reviews I saw said I hated Choli in the first one. This redeemed her entirely. I actually really liked her. They changed her character. They made her so much better, and they explained why she is the way she is. They were full of shit. I started playing the game, and just in the outset, Choli's walking up a hill, and she starts like mumbling to herself, Mom's going to be so mad when she finds out that I snuck out of the house just to see a punk rock show. Oh my God. I'm like, no. And I made
it into the show, and I said, fuck this game. That was literally as far as I made it. I said, I'm done.
Did you make it?
Like, why did I do this again?
You made it into the venue?
Into the door. Yeah, I made it into the venue, which is actually pretty far. It's like 3 minutes into the game. So, but
as long as how you
that's as far as I made it. I was kind of hoping it would like start and she got hit
out
by
like
a train.
a trooper.
Yeah, that was it.
So that she jumps a literal, like, you know those little gates that they put at parks that are like ankle high that have a little sign on it. She jumps over it and she's like, now I'm breaking and entering.
Oh my God.
And she walks up the hill and there's a guy like guarding the door and whatever. There's two dudes fighting. She goes around the backside of an RV that's like looks abandoned, and she goes, should I put graffiti on here? And I'm like, I know how Life is Strange works. This is going to be a trophy. So yes, I'll put graffiti on the wall. You pick the graffiti you want, and she pulls out a Sharpie and draws on the side of that's not even graffiti, Choli.
It's not even a Sharpie, it's a Crayola washable marker.
And then you have to break your way into the show by.
You know why she's doing that?
Why?
She's punk rock.
She's so punk rock.
She doesn't give a fuck about.
They don't care about anything.
Dude,
and
society can just suck it.
Exactly. Yeah.
So she has
the last 2 years of her life have not been a waste.
Hashtag Spidey Squad. She
said that when she jumped over the fence.
It's on your motto.
Spidey Squad.
She goes up to the bouncer in this club, and the actual way to get in, and the game calls it this, is a backtalk meter.
Oh my God!
To backtalk. You have to backtalk properly to get your way in, to earn his respect, to get into the show.
Who fucking wrote this?
Some 4-year-old, and she gets in.
My daughter.
And I was already like, I'm like fuming, and my fiance Tanya is like, I don't think we need to play this, and I'm like, let's just try to see it through. Let's see how it goes. I've heard good things about it. I already have 2 trophies. I can't delete it from my list. So we walk into the building, and one of the first things you see is a knife that's in the wall.
Ooh,
and
edge.
Wow.
I walk. There's a fire escape, and she walks up to it, and the best description for her attitude in this game that drove me crazy is she sees the knife and you look at it and she goes, oh, look, somebody stuck a knife there. That looks just like the knife my mom wouldn't buy me for Christmas.
What? I thought she
Feels like the knife my mom stabbed me in the back.
I threw the controller on the ground.
Actually, be my stepdad.
I fell
it's
back.
Like the knife my stepdad stabbed me in the back with.
I fell back on my back and just started bawling into my hands. And my fiance Tanya took a picture of me and laughed and sent it to Dan.
Is that your profile picture?
Yeah.
Please, man. Yeah.
And but even then, she's like, "Let's stop. Let's just stop." And I'm like, I'm going ahead. So I kept going until you heard the show, and the music starts playing. She sneaks up onto the rafters to watch it because everyone's being a pain in the ass to her.
You know why?
What?
She doesn't conform.
She doesn't conform. No. Also, she talks to her drug dealer, who's like, she's like, you want to give me some weed? And he's like, no, because you still owe me like $1,000. And she's like, what's wrong with you? I just want to have fun.
What is she, 14?
You're lucky he's not killing you.
She's 14?
Yeah.
How the fuck
no,
does she rack up $1,000?
Wow. But she climbs the rafters.
Great future ahead.
Lays on her back to listen to the show because she's just so into it, and smokes a cigarette and is just like lost in the music. No, it is a cigarette because she can't get a wacky cigarette because she owes him $1,000.
Wacky tobacco.
In that extended scene, she gets that wacky cigarette.
Yeah, and then I kept playing, and you're the next morning. You're in her mom's house, and she's like, talking back to her mom, and her mom's like, I made you eggs and I made you waffles. There's eggs and waffles on the table. And she's like, why does mom even try? She's such a bitch. I'm like, oh my God.
Oh yeah. This is
And already live with this. Like, you don't
exactly.
want to play a game.
So that's what I wonder. I wonder because
Is your life strange?
my life is strange.
Very strange.
We have teenagers in the house.
And it is before a storm. There's a storm coming. This works out perfectly.
Yeah. So I wonder if that's the point where I put the controller down. No, not even. I stopped playing, but I kept holding the controller.
For punishment.
And my fiance Tanya just like slowly reached over, like she was trying to swat a fly, pushed the PlayStation button, Fire Escape, and turned the game off and said, "We're done." Because she hated it too.
And then
she
it
wanted to
his
like
hard
it.
drive because she didn't shut it off the right way.
We wanted to, we wanted to find a game that we could play together because we haven't played anything together in a while. I've been playing Spider-Man and The Witcher.
Fuck that one up.
Yeah, we're done with it. Gotta find something else. There's a bunch of things we want to play, but God, that game is so bad.
Ah,
I'm with you,
I just
brother.
wonder if you're still like teen angsty, if maybe that's a redeeming quality in it, and that's why I don't get it because I'm old and I have kids that are almost that age and they're angsty.
It's like I said, you live that. You have that,
But
not to that degree.
It was so heavy-handed and annoying. That's just my mom wouldn't buy me that knife for Christmas. What a bitch!
Fuck her.
I just wanted it from Santa Claus.
Santa Claus isn't real. My mom's been lying to me since I was 2. Why she skipped my first birthday.
Don't know why my mom ever lied to me because she wanted me to experience joy and happiness.
Fucking bitch.
So I'm trying to give me joy and happiness, Mom.
I can't even do any drugs.
I just want some more weed. I've got a $1,000 bill. No man.
So anyway,
2 years of my life for this garbage. Okay.
2 years of my life are gone. Hashtag Spidey Squad.
Spice Squad's the worst.
Mommy won't even let me play Spidey Squad. I don't know what voice I'm doing anymore.
I would punch that kid in the face.
man.
I met that
The
kid.
right one.
Holy
So
shit.
Dan, you had the poll. Did you play Owlboy at all?
I played Spider-Man.
I'm
But
aware
no,
of that.
I'm taking a mulligan on that one.
Wrong,
I think I'll be able to play this week. I'm gonna
What's the
finish
bad
it
for
down.
playing it so much?
It was the wrong animal human hybrid there.
Right.
You're supposed to say
Yeah.
Owlboy.
I went the totally wrong
Arachnid
way.
boy.
Yeah. So mulligan, I will finish it this week. Maybe.
Oh,
So I can
that's
finish.
not
I'm gonna
allowed.
finish Spider-Man tonight. I'm pretty sure. Hopefully.
Wow.
hey, are we doing a poll this week?
I am. I'm literally texting Mary right now.
Okay.
I'm letting my wife pick 3 movies for me because I'm a
I know
I'm-
Spider-Man movies.
Because I don't care what my mom says.
Mom
let my
didn't
wife
get me
pick
The
the
Witcher
movies
for
for
Christmas.
me.
I can't play The Witcher because Mom didn't get me The
I'm gonna do a
Witcher.
whole podcast in his voice.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Game on, bro.
Came on, brah. Did y'all see Black Panther, brah?
You see, no Tennessee. You know what Tennessee's
Bro,
like?
the Titans are fucking awful, brah.
Mom won't
Mariota
even-
sucks.
Mom
bro.
wouldn't even let me go see the Titans.
It would be great if Bro watched our show.
He was on the show. I'd be,
He's been on it a few times.
oh my god.
Talks for 11 hours.
Insomniac, we trust. Spidey Squad.
Bruh.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Oh, that's really weird. Okay, either my wife is watching the show right now. I don't know if she's not in the chat or she just said Black Panther. All right, so I'm going to do the poll this week. And in this poll, I'm letting my wife pick 3 movies.
Your wife who?
We will put my wife Mary. We will put these movies up, and you guys will select, and we will choose. Okay,
All right, we're going
these are
with
vastly different. But, all
superhero
right.
movies.
So, and then focus.
Ready.
All right, so the 3 movies that my wife chose, and thank you, sweetie, for not being like, I don't know.
The Notebook.
You know what? I actually like the Notebook.
Shut the fuck
Zero
up.
problems with that movie. Zero problems. I don't give a shit.
Get the hell out of
I was gonna say something, Dan.
I'm still badass.
I was
Get
about to
out!
say. I was gonna say something, Dan, but it's super hitting below the belt. So I'll say it in the chat.
No!
Yeah, you know where I'm going, right? Do you know where I'm going?
No,
Dude,
stop.
I don't know.
No.
Okay.
Don't do it. Don't
I'm
do
gonna
it.
fuck with you hardcore now. No, I have
Oh,
zero
it's
issues
over.
with.
I would guess, but
Notebook.
I would probably get it
No,
so
I'm
wrong.
proud of her actually because she could have fucking punched me in the dick and been like, "We're gonna watch one of these." Fucking.
Notebook or die. That's the option.
All right, so option 1 is Hocus Pocus, which I haven't seen since I was a child. My wife loves that movie.
Oh,
Option 2 is
Black Panther, bro.
Black Panther.
And
I can't do the bra voice anymore.
And option 3 is Wonder Woman. So she actually picked.
Hey,
I would really much rather watch Black Panther, but you know. So
you see that Black Panther, bro?
I'm about to, bro. I'm sure to win the poll.
I think you should watch that Wonder Woman.
Now my wife is in the chat saying you guys better choose Hocus Pocus. Don't listen to her.
That's not how that works.
I'm going with Hocus Pocus.
My wife's making me watch Hocus Pocus. All right, so basically what we'll do, basically what we're going to do is I'll put these up. You guys will vote in 24 hours. I will watch it by next week and talk to you all about Hocus Pocus, probably because my wife's gonna like create fake Twitter accounts and fucking vote for it. So at this point, Evan, out of those 3 movies, what are you voting for?
Well, I want to. Have you seen all of them?
I've seen none of these.
You have seen none of them.
I've
Okay.
seen none
Well,
of these,
I think Black Panther was pretty good. One of them was very solid. I haven't seen Hocus Pocus in a long time.
Yeah, I take that back. I saw Hocus Pocus when I was probably 4. Like when you were, you know.
Mom's make me watch Hocus Pocus.
Again, bro.
So
eat waffles.
Without that breakfast, I can't even cut it with that knife because you would buy it for me. All right, so Evan, are you picking Black Panther? Is that what you said?
I would say Black Panther.
All right,
It's pretty
Daniel.
Daniel Tiger.
I'm gonna just for Mary. We'll do Hocus Pocus.
Oh, aren't you sweet?
Oh, see, I'm a nice guy.
Nobody likes me, but everybody likes Mary. I get it.
Everyone wants Hocus Pocus.
God, if she's in the chat, she's been quiet this whole time, and now all she cares about is Hocus Pocus.
Yeah.
Look at this, Hocus Pocus. You guys should choose Hocus Pocus.
It's not even about
we can
Spider-Man
all watch
anymore,
Hocus Pocus this week.
Hocus Pocus.
Alden,
I'm going to say Black Panther,
bruh,
because I haven't seen it, bro, and I want to see what you think of it before I watch it, because I can't watch it on Bra's recommendation.
Because
I've said this on the show, but we listened to his show, and he kept talking about Black Panther, and then we made fun of him talking about Black Panther when we did his show, and then he still talked about Black Panther, and then
we somehow confused him that we were making fun of the fact that he always talked about Black Panther because we did his show, and for like the first 10 minutes we just did it in his voice.
Yeah,
it's like reverse psychology.
But then like 2 weeks later, me and Dan and Bra streamed Fortnite, and he was just like, there was a moment of silence, and he was like, "Hey, y'all see Black Panther?" And I'm like, "Are you fucking with me, or is this real?" Which
I mean, seriously, bro, did you see it?
We can't go a show without talking about Bra.
Nope, impossible.
We need to just have him on more.
So we've got 2 votes for Black Panther, 1 vote for 1 vote.
That's not how that works.
My son runs around doing this all the time.
Swip. I know, but he also doesn't do that. It's 2 fingers.
Is he metal horns?
No, that's metal horns.
That one.
I thought he did this.
No, he doesn't do that. That's how you count to 3 in baseball.
That's like ouch.
Yeah,
that's easy to do.
No, it hurts me.
I'm confused.
Whatever,
regardless, Black Panther got 2 votes.
This. That's why he goes like that.
I remember when Andrew Garfield did this in The Amazing Spider-Man. He just did
finger guns.
Yeah.
Pew pew.
Shit.
All right, so I'll put that poll up there. Mary is coercing people to vote for Hocus Pocus. Diego is now voting for Hocus Pocus.
The Digital Hoarders gang sign.
Yeah.
Yes. Diego said this is our Digital Hoarders gang sign, and no, this is it.
No, I'm trying to make a DH.
This
is as good as it gets.
All right, so we talked a lot about Spider-Man.
Yeah. Do we have anything else?
Talked a lot about Black Panther.
Yeah.
And now about those fire escapes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're about done.
Evan wasted 2 years of his life.
Evan wasted 2 years of his life doing what? Evan, where can people find you?
Wasting 2 years of my life on YouTube and Twitter. Evan Filarca at Evan Filarca and Evan Filarca on YouTube. It's my real name.
Say Evan Filarca 5 more times, please go.
I know. I probably could. Evan Filarca. Nope.
That was only one.
Already messed up that one time. Yeah, I just do videos about Spider-Man PS4. Where I'm actually uploading a video as we speak right now about combat tips and tricks, using gadgets in different ways, which gadgets to use when you're surrounded by a bunch of guys, how to fight with style, how to swing with style. I updated people for years about news and stuff, and I'm still doing that about the DLC and everything. I'm also going to be covering the Avengers project, which whenever that comes out, whenever we get more news about that, the Square Enix Avengers game that Marvel is also making. And yeah, just a lot of cool new stuff coming soon. It's going to be very exciting. And of course, look out for those backpacks in Spider-Man PS4 if you haven't found them already with the Spidey Squad logo in it. Because that's from us to you, from the community of fans to you, the players. Just sharing that experience with you guys means a lot.
Hell yeah, dude.
Awesome.
And like Alden said earlier, you're
Game on, bro.
yes, you're
Game on, bro.
You're,
Pancakes.
what's the word I'm looking for?
Pancakes.
Your
enthusiasm.
there we go, is infectious. So
Oh,
everybody go follow this guy
Yes.
right now. Go do it now.
Everybody
now.
go follow him.
now.
And also
What
everybody
are you
go,
waiting for?
go follow me because he has 19
A
times the
lot.
followers
Yeah.
that I
too
do.
many followers.
Good. Stop
than
following
I
Evan.
even need. That's right.
Block Evan
Block
and
him out
follow
for the
Alden.
digital hoarders.
Everybody block Evan.
Dan, anything you'd like to add?
I'm gonna go play Spider-Man right now.
Yeah.
Good.
Right
Good. We should
now.
talk about Spider-Man.
Oh, so hopefully next week we can do some kind of
We
Spider-Man
can't-
spoiler
So
cast.
if we do the spoiler cast, we can't do it live.
Yes.
No, we can't.
Because that's not fair to anybody jumping
Right.
in. But I will totally do it. We'll just
Right.
have Evan on back-to-back weeks for a spoiler cast.
Yeah. Well, there's so many people that
Well,
wanted to do it. So Evan,
Just have a fucking
Bra wants to
conference
do it.
call.
If he finishes it by then, Bra, get your shit
Yes.
together.
He's just gonna talk
Um,
about Black Panther, bro.
But
I
do
am
you,
ready.
you see the Black Panther,
I didn't finish the games. I was playing Black
See
Panther.
the Black Panther Easter egg in Spider-Man.
the
bro?
the Wakanda embassy.
Actually, yes, that's true. So yes,
And
More
Spidey
Black
actually has a really funny joke too when
He
you take a
does.
picture of it.
Yes.
It does.
Who else wanted to do it? I'm actually probably going to be on the gaming perspective tomorrow night
I
with
saw that.
with Nick
Sam.
to
Nice.
do kind of a
Is,
spoiler kind of thing with it.
I gotta hurry up and finish.
Sam's gonna sit in front of his bunk bed.
Yeah, we're all going to sit in the dark.
Crisscross applesauce in front of his bunk bed.
It's such a fantastic show. They do a
Oh,
great
they're
show.
The best.
And
I just
then
love that Sam looks like a little kid, so giddy. He's like, "Hey guys, I'm
Yeah.
gonna talk about video games."
Dan was on it a couple weeks ago, and they were all sitting in like the darkest
Yeah.
light possible. Like it was. They were trying to do a spooky movie. Like
No,
ooh.
it's because that's how their
They're
insides
angsty.
are. Yeah.
They're angsty.
Yeah.
Mom wouldn't get me a light.
My room's just as dark as my inside.
Mom wouldn't give me a light for Christmas. She just got me eggs. Eggs everywhere.
Eggs and no knife, bitch.
And Alex,
Breakfast.
press X to Alex wants to do a spoiler cast with us.
Let's have a literal conference call.
It'd be
We're
great.
gonna have a
I
spoiler
think it'd be
orgy
awesome.
next week on
Spoiler
Tits.
orgy. That's
I'm
actually
ready.
really good.
You're ready for that orgy?
2
Evan's
years
in
of
the
life for
orgy.
All
this.
right. Well,
Well,
we need everybody else
Oh.
to finish the game.
All right, I'm gonna.
Right.
I will
Like
vow
your
to
appetite.
finish it by Friday.
Stop talking
Uh.
so I can go play.
Whoa!
Let's go!
You've been uninvited from the orgy. Man.
Shit.
Um,
Taking off the side.
I'm toying with the idea of streaming the demo of Mega Man. Let me know if anybody cares to see that.
Nope.
I just feel like we should have a little
Don't
more
give a shit, fuck
content
you.
than nothing.
No,
So
we're gonna do Friday the 13th, right?
yes,
Fucking
Friday
A, right, we
13th
are.
is coming out.
I'm buying it right now. I'm gonna have it
Evan,
downloaded
you got
while I play
Friday the
Spider-Man.
13th?
I gotta get it.
Okay, you do. Go. We're waiting. Go.
Yeah, we want to do a stream so bad but it's one of those games we talked about it 2 weeks ago that we need at least 6 people to do a decent game.
I talked to Chris about it, and I said I told him we were doing it. I was like, you got to get back on. He's like, nope, you guys are not embarrassing me like that. I'm like, come on. he takes it to heart when he loses quickly,
Yeah.
so he's not about to sign up for that. So we have to take Chris off the list. But we can get 8 people. We got me, you, Dan, Mary will do it, Andrea will do it. That's 5 right there. And if we can grab some other people from,
I wonder if I could get Tanya to do it.
that'd be fucking great.
Yeah. I don't know. My fiance Tanya, if you're in the chat, please let me know if you will do the Friday the 13th stream with us.
Who's in the chat that has Friday the 13th? Go.
Go.
Nobody. Okay.
Yeah, it's time to end the show.
Man.
Dan's got Spider-Man to play. I've got Spider-Man to play. We've all got Spider-Man to play. Anything to add, Evan, before we go? You kind of added everything.
I just want to say
That's
thanks to
brilliant.
everybody just, sticking with me and the Spidey Squad community, just supporting us ever since our conception in 2016, where we were just a small group of fans. It was like 10 people or so just talking about this game for fun over calls like this and on Discord and on Twitter and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, more and more people started joining, and then it just became more of a community, more like a family, is what I say, is that it's more like a family of fans that just love this character and love each other. And that's what I love about the Spidey Squad, is that everyone can just join in no matter what, and then just talk about this awesome game and just Spider-Man in general, and just thank you all for just making it the community and family that it is today. And without you guys, I wouldn't be where I am today, and we wouldn't be where we are without you. So thank you.
Well, Diego is shaming me in the chat for some of my failed experiments in the past.
God,
so it's time to go.
Why you gotta be like that? His mom always stabbed him in the back.
Evan, you are fantastic. Your enthusiasm is so infectious, but also you're so eloquent when talking about the game. It's really awesome. It's even enough for me to forgive you saying Tobey Maguire is your favorite Spider-Man, and Spider-Man 1 was your first experience with Spider-Man.
My first experience with Spider-Man, because I've been wanting to say this the whole time, was the Spider-Man Cartoon Maker. The first video game was the Spider-Man Cartoon Maker on PC. Do you remember that?
Yes.
It's fucking great. And I have so many good memories. That I think my first Spider-Man video game that I vividly remember was Maximum Carnage.
Oh, yeah.
The Genesis. I think that's the one that I might have played something before that, but that's like my first, like, oh, this game's so good.
And that red cartridge made you feel like you're doing something special.
I have it over there.
Nice.
I know. Let's stream it. You just stand behind me with a phone. All right, look at this. We're not buying capture cards here.
Dan, I forgot to ask you what your first experience with Spider-Man was, but just go play the game.
Yeah, that's really what I want to do.
Thank you all for joining us. Are you going to get the cartridge? I can't stall any longer. This is boring. This has been Digital Hoarders, episode 42. Thank you all for joining us. Follow Evan on Twitter.
Woo!
I'm gonna play this one.
Hashtag-
the PS4 Pro.
That's just Spider-Man. Hashtag Hoard on.
Hold on.
Hold
Stop
on.
podcast now because I can't
Hoard
reach
on.
it.
Oh, wrong one.
Hold on.
Oh,
That's
shit.
part of the.
Hold on, bro.
Fuck you,
Hold on,
Bendis.